All right, what is up, everybody? Shell Scout 0013 here, coming in with another unit breakdown. This time on the Rebel Landspeeder, and I kind of wanted to just go over a few different, list ideas and combinations that seem like a lot of fun. And it's not really a unit that you're seeing a lot on the table right now. So maybe at some point we might get some upgrades, or you know, if not upgrades, but maybe an updated unit card. That'd be pretty cool. But if not, I'm here to at least talk about what we do have and what it looks like. And yeah, so if you're interested in the lists that I do go over, you can get them in the description down below. If you are interested in just kind of skipping over this, whenever, I'm just going to talk about the giveaway and how to enter in those giveaways. If you want to skip that, I mean, by all means, I'm mostly here for just information. So it's up to you guys if you want to listen to all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's a side note. But first off, if you are interested in winning a Rebel Trooper unopened sealed box, then all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment. Another way to enter is to go and be a member of the Discord and just be active, because what I'll usually do is I'll go down to the server level and just I'll see the people who are there and kind of add, you know, points up. And yeah, that is one way to do it. Another way to do it is to be a Clan of Shadows Patreon member. All you got to do is just be a member. If you want to, support the channel to help with giveaways and stuff like that, you can be a paying member. Even just $1 a month is perfectly fine. That'd be great. You get extra chances in to win the giveaways, but this really does help the channel. And head on over to thebirdacademy.com. This is not a giveaway thing, but this is just if you are interested, you can head over there for $15 a month or about 50 cents a day. You can get 3, 4, 5, and 6 day week workout programs, corrective exercise programs, 30-minute torture programs, I like to call them. It's just shorter programs to kind of help you stay in shape and do what can in a shorter time. There's stuff to do at home, abs and core, cardio, 120 different recipes, videos and descriptions of everything. And lastly, if you want, I highly recommend CommScan. So CommScan is an Etsy store selling the best Star Wars Legion order tokens in the galaxy, pairing the satisfying tactile qualities of a Concedo chip with high-definition graphics that could come straight off the bridge of the Profundity, and you'll be using improvised orders just to keep drawing from the bag. So check out the range of different order tokens on Etsy. I'll leave the link down below, but they've got a ton of cool order tokens that I highly recommend. They're high quality, and if we can message him and see what we can do. If there are enough people who would like to have the special Shadow Scout order tokens, they are fantastic. And the green is cool, the black is cool. Having these on the table is really cool. So yeah, no, I just said that a million times, but they are awesome. All right, let's get straight into it. So the Landspeeder, it has armor 2, so not full armor, but it will at least cancel 2 hit results, which is not that bad. It's got 6 health, 4 at its breaking point. It does roll surging white defense dice, and it does surge to hit, so that is a really nice quality. It moves at speed 2, so there is an upgrade pilot that you can, Ryder Azadi, that you can upgrade to get him to speed 3, but you have to exhaust it. But it can be worth it. It just depends on what you're trying to do. It does have Arsenal 3, so it does have quite a bit of, or it has a big ability to be able to shoot a lot of dice, depending on what you attach to it. It has a natural cover 1, so during the dodge and cover step, you will cancel a hit before impact happens. So if you've got like a dodge and then you've got cover 1, there's another pilot that also gives you a cover 1, so that you could have cover 2. So you basically have heavy cover, and if you had a dodge, you could cancel 3 hit results. And maybe if it's just impact 3 and they're only rolling like maybe 3 or 4 dice and they only get like 3 hits, well, if you've got the cover 2 and a dodge, well, obviously you're going to be able to cancel all of that. So it's got a good ability to kind of help with the amount of impact that it will have. But it is a transport, and it's an open transport, and it's a transport 1. So you can transport 1 friendly trooper unit that consists of exactly just 1 small base mini. So it's a mini, not a unit. It's a unit, but like an operative or a commander. That's basically it. And then speeder 1, so while moving, you can ignore terrain that's height 1 or lower. So if you need to jump over a building that is literally just height 1 or lower, so you're basically behind line of sight and then you just want to pop out of nowhere, that is possible. And then when you activate, you got to perform a compulsory move. It has a natural, just the driver's blaster pistol, which is only a range 1 to 2, 2 white, so not very strong, but you can attach 1 pilot, 2 personnel, a hardpoint, gun, and or a comms slot. So there's a lot to it, and it's only 60 points, which is very cheap by itself, which is cool, and it should be, because it's also, not a lot of health. But let's take a look at the pilots that you could possibly upgrade. For the Rebels, you have the Hotshot Pilot, which gives you Sharpshooter 1, which is not that bad with the fact that you're rolling a lot of white dice. This could really help get a little bit more past cover. And, with the Sharpshooter 1, if you are shooting at, let's say, maybe a LAT, the LAT has a natural cover 1. The Fluttercrafts have cover 2. The other Airspeeder has cover 1. So there are ways that, having that Sharpshooter is going to help. Plus, having the Sharpshooter 1, especially against low profile and against other units on the board, since you are kind of low with a Landspeeder, can really come in handy. So I do like that. The Outer Rim Speeder Jockey is giving you an extra cover 1, which again is really nice because this could give you cover 2, so heavy cover, and really help reduce the amount of impact that could be given. Rider Azadi is, while performing a move, you can increase or decrease your maximum speed by 1. It is exhaustible, so you'd have to recover. It just depends on, even what hardpoint you're bringing. So if you wanted to bring the Ion Blaster, that is going to have to be recoverable, but that's the only thing that you would need to recover. So maybe if you wanted to bring that one, you could. But again, that one is, it's range 1 to 4, so it could be worth it to have him there. It's also really nice to have Rider Azadi if you are bringing Sabine, because I'll explain it when I come to a list with Sabine, but he can really help you at least close the gap. Or even if you've got, Luke or Ahsoka, this could really be a good upgrade just to kind of help you get him in really fast. Shriv, obviously, Shriv is really good because for free you can choose a friendly trooper unit that you are transporting, or at range 1 to 2, and it's going to gain a dodge and a suppression. So if you are transporting Han, this could be really good to give him a suppression for that extra, I think he's got danger sense. No, he doesn't have danger sense. He has what is it? Oh man, where is he? The Uncanny Lug, that's right. But anyone with, danger sense, like Jen Erso, being able to benefit from that suppression, if she's in there, she's got heavy cover, and you'd be able to use the suppression for reroll or adding extra dice. That could be really good. And, Wedge. I don't think it's necessarily worth it, but for free, you can perform a free pivot if you need something that's got like a fixed front, kind of like the 2 hard points here have a fixed front. So if you really are trying to, get them there, you can. But other than that, he's okay. He is a field commander, which is also really nice. But Shriv is, I feel like, a little bit more worth it. Now, let's look at the personnel upgrades. You can bring the refurbished Gonka droid on there, so that's pretty good with the shielded 2. That's going to help you at least stay alive a little bit longer and cancel those hits. You do have an A300 rifle gunner with just 2 white as well at range 1 to 3. So now you've got 4 white to be able to roll at range 1 to 2 at least, but 2 white at range 1 to 3. You do have an RPS 6 rocket gunner with impact 2, range 2 to 4, which is a single rainbow. Not that bad. And then you have the unstable R5 astromech, which is at the end of your activation, you can perform an attack or a move, and then roll 3 black dice and suffer 1 wound for each hit or crit. So that's not bad. It's only 6 points, and you can only use it once, thankfully, almost in a way. And for the heavy, or for, the hardpoint stuff, you have the M45 Ion Blaster, which is range 1 to 4, a black, and 4 white, which is, to me, very similar. I don't know if it's on here. Let's see. Is it the same as the Pathfinder Biston? Yeah, basically it's the exact same gun that Biston has. Exhaustible, Ion 1, Impact 1, fixed front. And then for the Mark II medium blaster, it's range 1 to 3, 4 black, fixed front as well. And for comms, there's no point in command. Comms jammer could be pretty good. Comms relay, but if you're giving that order out, you're probably going to want to bring onboard comms channel to give whoever's on there a free order. An operative or commander, though, for the most part, you're probably bringing their own command cards, but maybe for a time that you aren't bringing one of their command cards, that could be pretty good. Link targeting array could be nice because then you can compulse move, maybe take a second aim because of the fact that you're rolling white dice and some black dice, maybe a red. Then having 2 aims could be really nice. And hacked comms unit, since it is a compulsory move and you are moving in pretty quickly, this could be nice to have. HQ uplink is a little bit too expensive for something that's maybe armor 2 and, decent. And emergency transponders, that could be probably better if you're expecting it not to last very long to get that free aim or dodge. And so, like, maybe emergency transponder with maybe you're bringing the astromech and you want to just keep this kind of cheap as much as you can. And say you want that sharpshooter 2, 100 points for a turn where you're going to be able to have sharpshooter 1, and then you're going to be able to make 2 attacks with, if you're at range, we'll say you're at range 1 to 2, okay? Then you'd be able to have 4 white and 4 black, so you're rolling 8 dice, sharpshooter 1, you pop this for a free aim, and if you didn't get the order, I should say, and then you use the unstable astromech droid to get a second attack. That could really be pretty fun to play, I would say, but it just depends. If you're too far, maybe instead of the astromech guy, you bring the RPS gunner, but I mean that's pretty decent at range, 2 to 4, or 2 to 3, I should say. So range 2 to 3, yeah. But yeah, it just depends on how you want to really shape it out and what you want to do with it. But let's go over a few different list ideas. So with this first one, I have Han Solo with up close personal and prepared supplies who can go into the Landspeeder. You also have R2 that could go into the Landspeeder because of secret mission. So you've got 2 options here. And again, with Han Solo, he's going to have heavy cover while he's in there, plus low profile, which will give him basically cover 3. And then he's got uncanny luck. So he's going to be able to stay alive in there pretty nicely. And he's also got gunslinger. So it's such a good little combo. I feel like that gunslinger inside of there with low profile is just, but bonkers. You have Chewie with protector. Just be able to protect whoever you wanted, like either R2 or Han. You have R2 just by himself. You have a Pike Capo with vigilance. You've got 2 Pike foot soldiers with the P-13 disruptor and the Pike Capo in there. For courage 2, the extra surge, the free dodge, and for, that danger sense 2, it really helps to have that extra courage. You have a rebel trooper with the DLT-20A and a medical droid. You have the rebel veterans with the CMO-93 trooper. So you've got lots of good range 4 options. Critical, you've got impact in here. So this is going to help with a lot of armor stuff. You have the medium blaster to help either with a fire support or the extra critical 2. So yeah, you've got 3 units, 1 with critical 1, 2 with critical 2, and then another one with impact 1. And then you have your Landspeeder with the outer rim speeder jockey for that extra cover 1. You have the rifle gunner. You have the refurbished gonk droid, and then you have the Mark II medium blaster. So pretty cheap, I would say, and not too bad. You're probably wanting to get up to range 1 to 2 so that you can really make use of that extra gun that's on the speeder, because the gonk droid is hoping to keep it alive so that whoever's in there can last a little bit longer, or so that you can get either R2 into the deployment zone of your opponent, or at least keep Han Solo from having to put his order token face down and take a wound. So 10 activations, you get a 3-point bid to kind of pick whatever you want. Now for objectives, I didn't quite pick this, but I can go through it now. You are probably looking at intercept the transmissions. You could do, if the Landspeeder is compulsory move, so maybe if you were to keep it alive until the end of the game, which there's a possibility, but it's highly doubtful, maybe key positions could be okay. You're also looking at maybe payload, because then you can get in and really do a lot with Han Solo, and or sabotage moisture evaporators could be okay. because again, you can get maybe him in, breakthrough, because you're definitely trying to get R2 in, and you're definitely trying to get the airspeeder in, and or recover the supplies. It, maybe we'll go with breakthrough. And you can always change these. Obviously, the advanced positions could be pretty good. The rollout, because you have the airspeeder, offensive push could be okay as well, and battle lines, because if you're playing battle lines and you get everybody on one side, and maybe you put the land speeder and R2 on the other side, you drop off R2 and then just keep going with the airspeeder to try to flank your opponent. So not too bad. And that is, let's try. You've got a lot of range 4, so maybe clear conditions. Minefield, because it's compulsory repulsor vehicle, so it won't set off the mines. So minefield could be okay. And then maybe supply drop and fortified positions to kind of keep the white dice saves a little bit more alive. And yeah, and R2 can also use his repair to help the land speeder so that you're keeping it alive a little bit longer, especially if he's in there. So yeah. Let's look at a K2SO and Cassian. So Cassian's got Hunter and his config. You've got K2 in there with the blaster. You've got the land speeder with Ryder Azadi, the rifle gunner, unstable astromech, and the Mark II, because the plan is to try to get in as close as possible, as fast as possible, to drop off Sabine. And Sabine is going to have situational prepared supplies because of nimble. So the shield will go out after a hit. But if she's got situational awareness and prepared supplies, she's going to be able to use that dodge the whole round instead of just a shield. And it's basically going to act as a shield the entire time anyway. And you have electro grappling line to be able to keep someone still if it's a hostage unit or whoever. And then the dark saber so that she can get in and do some damage in melee. You've got Clan Ren with prepared supplies, situational awareness, and then jetpack rockets. And a good thing again about the jetpack rockets is they are range 3 to 4. Tristan is range 1 to 3, so if you're at range 3, you're going to be doing a lot. And with Ursa, she's range 1 to 2, but has long shot, so if you spend the aim for long shot, she can be at range 1 to 3. And the person that was shooting the rocket is the just generic person, and so you would have blast in there, lethal, and suppressive, plus impact. So you'd have quite a lot of stuff, and then you're rolling 2 red, 3 black, and a white at range 3. With, blast, lethal, and suppressive. So that's pretty good. You have a pike foot soldier with the disruptor and the capo in there. And then you've got a rebel trooper with the DLT-20, a rebel veteran with the heavy, and the Mark II. And that'll give you 9 activations. Cassian's good at long range. K2 with, the incognito so that he can just kind of walk to your opponent's back objective. Sabine is in the Landspeeder so that she can drop off her bombs. So explosions. You'll use basically the explosions, hopefully on that round 1, depending on how close you are. Because then, let's say you have Ryder Azadi, you do your compulse move at speed 3, you maybe take a dodge, and then you attack, and then you use the unstable astromech to attack again. And then with Sabine, you get out, you do your arm 2, you move back, a speed 1, and then you detonate everything, and you just kind of obliterated, hopefully, one side of the board as much as you can. So that's kind of the plan with this airspeeder list. And then again, you've got lots of range 4 guns to kind of help back up Sabine and keep her undercover, along with Cassian kind of shooting his long range, and then K2 just going up on another side if he needs to, or supporting Cassian, and or the pike foot soldiers with an aim, a dodge, and a suppression so that they can make use of their danger sense, get the extra aim for their gun, and then they have 2 dodges, because independent dodge and then the dodge provided by K2, and then situational awareness on them. So yeah, this is, I feel like, a pretty versatile list that anyone can use. And again, all of the lists are in the descriptions down below. Just real quick, if you were going to go over an objective, you could probably, again, go over breakthrough, maybe intercept, key positions, and, maybe recover the supplies, because then you can speed in pretty quick with Sabine and drop off the bombs, and the next turn, just kind of grab it and go. Advanced positions could be all right. Major offensive, I feel like. Rollout could be okay, again, or, you have a lot of long range, so rollout at least could be fine, and or, hemmed in, just in case. And then again, conditions, maybe clear, minefield, fortified, and supply drop. We'll save that for you guys. The third list is a double transport ewoks list with Leia with portable scanners. You have R2. You have the Landspeeder with the hotshot pilot to have the sharpshooter one. You have the refurbished gonk droid to kind of keep it alive. And then you've got the rocket gunner and the Mark II so that you have a little bit more range and impact in the list. You have Din, who can go into the Landspeeder or R2. Again, just depends on what the objective is, or if you're really trying to get R2, to the finish line. You can have Din with the Beskar Spear, the Tenacity, Situational, the Flame Projector, and the Jetpack Rocket, his jetpack. And you at least have a more melee person in your list just in case they're trying to bring anyone melee. But you also have a ton more melee stuff in here. So if you really wanted to save 5 points, let's just do that for now. Save you 5 points, and maybe with Leia you choose improvised orders because you might want that. You have 3 naked rebel troopers. You have an Ewok skirmishers with nothing on there. You have an Ewok slinger with forest dwellers so that they can kind of move up a little bit faster. You have the speeder truck with the hotshot pilot for the extra sharpshooter one as well. So both your heavies have the hotshot pilot. You have the gonk droid on both of them as well. And then you have the heavy laser retrofit. And the reason I have the hotshot pilot is because that sharpshooter one with only 3 dice is going to be really nice, and at least the critical one is good, and it's also range 1 to 4, so that can give you at least something. So maybe if your speeder truck is too far away from someone, or you're trying to add extra suppression to someone that's too far away, that heavy laser retrofit could really do well. And then inside the bus, you have the Ewok skirmishers, and I've decked them out because they're in the bus, and that they're going to be rolling 8 dice. You have 6 naturally in the unit, and then you've got the Axe Ewok with a red, which would give you Pierce and Impact. You've got the Ewok Trapper to give you an extra black dice, and then Call to Arms to be able to gain that charge that round that they exit the bus, and then Tenacity in case they start to lose someone. You're rolling 2 red dice now and some black. And in melee, these guys are just gonna eat some people alive. So that's why they're in the bus, and they're more decked out. Now, if you wanted to give this Ewok skirmisher something, you could. Again, if you wanted to take off improvised orders and give maybe the Ewok skirmishers the Call to Arms or Forest Dwellers where they gain Scout, that could be pretty good, because the Ewok slingers right here have some of that, and then that would leave you with 2 points left. So maybe you can give, I don't know, maybe one of the Rebel Troopers Recon Intel, because there's really nothing else to do. So yeah, that's just up to you, honestly. The extra 5 points I'll just leave with Leia for improvised orders. And again, if you want to change anything, you can just head on over to the description down below and check those out. And objective wise, you've got 2 heavies, so breakthrough could be pretty fun. You have Mando in there, so you're gonna have Bounty, which could be pretty good. You've got 2 big trucks, so even Bombing Run wouldn't be that bad. You have Leia, so Hostage Exchange could be pretty decent because she's got the ability, a card for a free move in case you wanted to do that with No Time for Sorrows. And either recover the supplies or keep positions. Actually, probably keep positions. It could be pretty decent because, and you also have Secret Mission and Bounty, I should say. So you have a possibility of having 2 extra victory points, and it's an 11-act list with 2 heavies. And again, with key positions, you can have the Landspeeder try to go for the back key position for them, and then the AA5 could just go for the middle and sit on the middle and try to stay alive as long as possible to block that key position. So that would be a lot of fun, honestly. And then your deployments, you could do advanced positions, major offensive, because it's the way that it's laid out, I feel like would be pretty decent for these. Rollout, but with rollout, Bombing Run would be actually pretty bad. So maybe you could just go with Danger Close and Hemmed In. And then for the conditions, since you don't have a lot of long range except for Mando's Amband Rifle, Limited Viz is also not in a... Okay, so with Din's Amband Rifle, it's not an attack, so limited visibility doesn't really matter. as far as I'm understanding, because it just says for the first round, units cannot perform ranged attacks. And again, Din's Amband Rifle is not a ranged attack, it's just an effect. So that is the good thing about having Din's long Amband Rifle in this list. So limited vis could be really nice. You could do fortified positions again because you've got a lot of melee units, and if you are shooting, they don't really have cover anyway. Minefield could be okay. You do have shields and you do have a repulsory vehicle, and it would kind of suck it for whoever's in there. But if a mine did go off from someone else, and maybe you do, maybe supply drop just in case, because it's always fun to play. I know it competitively is not the best, but I always like playing it. And lastly, this is just a random fun list. You have Leia with portable scanners, Ahsoka with force push, burst of speed, offensive defensive stance, and seize the initiative. Sabine, again with situational, prepared supplies, electro grappling hook, and the darksaber. Clan Ren with, situational, prepared supplies, jetpacks. You've got the Landspeeder with the hotshot pilot, the rifle gunner, unstable, and the Mark II. Rebel troopers with the astromech and recon to kind of get a little bit in front of the Landspeeder so that when it does its compulsory move, if it does want to move again, then at least you're a little bit closer. Rebel veterans with the CMO 93 Trooper and the Mark II. So you have 3 command cards that allow for free moves in a way. So explosions, you'll do that. You get an extra free speed 1 move. You have No Time for Sorrows, which gives 2 trooper units a move. And then you've got Family Reunion, which also gives Sabine and Ahsoka some speed 2 moves. So it's a very mobile list, especially with a Landspeeder bringing in Sabine or Ahsoka and getting in pretty quickly to melee as fast as possible. And if you are even playing the hostage exchange, not only you can use No Time for Sorrows to get your hostage, your Mark II I should say, back to your deployment. You do your free speed 1 move, and then you double move your turn. That's 3 moves towards your deployment zone, which is really good. And then you can also move, if Sabine is in the Landspeeder, you could move Ahsoka a little bit closer. And then the next turn you go with Family Reunion, and then when Ahsoka goes, then Sabine moves closer to your opponent's hostage with a speed 2, and then she can move with a speed 3 and get in pretty quickly. And then when obviously Sabine moves, then if Ahsoka's out of the, or if whoever's out of the Landspeeder, she can also, Ahsoka does another speed 2 move closer to your opponent. So there's so many fun things. And then if Sabine, throws the bombs next turn, she can move in a certain direction towards someone and engage in melee or just whatever, even if she does get hit. This is just, you're moving in time. You're getting extra actions to move, which is just insane. Sorry. I know I keep repeating myself, sorry. But that's just, it seems like it would be just a ton of fun. And you've got 3 pretty fun hard hitters here between Clan Ren, Ahsoka, and Sabine. You've got Leia directing in the back. You've got the Landspeeder to get whoever in really fast and do just a double attack and probably not survive too long, but at least it's under 100 points. And if you could trade that in with someone or a unit, that would be pretty nice. And then your Rebel Troopers are just trying to keep the Landspeeder alive and or help with the astromech's possible wounds. Yeah. Seems like a very fun list to me. If you've got any other ideas, or if you've got something that might work, or if you were thinking of something different, or whatever else, feel free to post it in the link down below, or comment with maybe an idea that you had, or maybe if I got something wrong, feel free to post it down below. Anything there that is really good to read, or some cool strategies, I like to pin them, because again, this whole channel is for information for people who are just interested in strategies or lists or anything like that, to just kind of have fun with the community. So thank you guys for listening. Again, if you want to enter in for the Rebel Trooper box, then just be a subscriber and leave a comment. If you want more entries, you can head over to the Discord, and if you want even more entries, you can be a Patreon member. And yeah, head on over again to CommScan. I really like them. I think they're cool. Even though the Shadow Scout tokens are out of order right now, and they're sold out because you guys are so awesome. All the other tokens are cool, and I like to support them and give them whatever recognition I can. So thanks, guys, again, and I hope that all of you have a wonderful day. May the force be with you, and let's get some good games going.